Hello everyone, welcome back to theCUBE. We are here in New York City for our CUBE Studios East here at the New York Stock Exchange floor. I'm John Furrier, host of CUBE, here with Dave Vellante. Here all week as part of our Media Week coverage of NRF. This is the big retail week. This is the show that's transforming retail, and technology is at the center stage of all the conversations. Of course, cloud and AI is making it happen. Stephen Orban is here, CUBE alumni, Vice President of Migrations, ISVs, Independent Software Vendors, and Marketplace at Google Cloud. You've probably seen Stephen on theCUBE many times as part of our Marvels program. Stephen, great to see you. And your home game for you, soon to be home game for us.
Home turf here in New York, John. Thanks for having me as always. And what an awesome setup you have here at the New York Stock Exchange. It's great to be here with you again.
We're excited to really open up New York as kind of, to use an old school networking term, point of presence, super pop, because with Silicon Valley and Wall Street, we're connecting tech and money, tech and business, tech and stocks, technologies in politics. It's in all the action in society. You guys know that you're powering the marketplace. You see all the companies powering on Google Cloud, but it's really now, we're kind of going next generation around what trusted community means, because organic content is about relationships.
Yep.
And as we've talked in the Marvel series many times with Google Cloud, the relationships between companies and your customers, there's more integration and something that's a consistent theme. On the human side, people want to know who's in my network, and we have a series of networks, and it's got to be trusted. So I think we're going to see a lot more content from theCUBE. I think we'll do about a 50x increase in video editorial to share as much knowledge to the audience as possible, to get people learning, meeting people, progressing to discovery and learning, and just connecting and getting the best data possible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations, and I'm humbled to be a part of it. And as much as AI and tech has started to automate everything that we do in our lives, there's still nothing to take the place of a good, solid relationship in a network, as you said. The
humanization of content. Stephen, I'm really excited you came in. I know you got a super busy schedule. NRF's going on this week, and it reminds me of the industry. You got retail and healthcare, both heavy IoT devices. And reminds me, in theCUBE, we keep an eye on NRF. We've never gone there before because it's been more of a retail show around retail. Yeah, there's been some tech in there, omni-channel, some marketing analytics. But like 5 years ago when Dave Vellante and I saw a supercomputing show, which used to be high performance computing, I mean, that was super cool, but we didn't really cover that HPC market. So I flew in 5 years ago and I started sniffing around, and I saw Google Cloud, I saw AWS, I saw NVIDIA having these sidebars. And I'm like, just follow the alpha geeks. I'm like, what? They're not on the floor. I know that guy. He does deep learning. What's he doing? He's an NVIDIA presentation. Packed house, clearly a recruiting vehicle. And I called Dave up and I said, this is an AI show. We're going to see the confluence of supercomputing and AI, and now obviously we're seeing a supercomputing revolution happen, and reminds me of the personal computer revolution. What followed right after the 80s was the 90s, which was the networking revolution. So networking and computing together, it's now happening on an accelerated basis. Retail is going to completely transform from where it is today. We're in a different place now. You are powering a lot of companies here. I just interviewed one of them here on theCUBE, but also you're seeing the ISV ecosystem. So you're seeing the developer pressure from the market that's in a frenzy. The AI infrastructure is expanding very rapidly, so you have this confluence of just so much dynamic growth. And we see trillions of dollars of spend in flight because data growth and AI growth is happening much faster than our budgets are increasing.
Yeah.
The money's got to come from somewhere, so it's going to the cloud.
Yeah,
and you're running the marketplace, so you see the money. You see the money and you see the talent. What's the impact of retail? And give us a scope of the magnitude of the change.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's a sharp observation, by the way. NRF, while it is still a retail-centered conference, is just as much a tech conference as any of the conferences that Google Cloud or any one of the big tech companies would put on today. Just the amount of innovation that you can see being showcased on the floor. I had a chance to walk around and meet with 9 or 10 of our partners yesterday, some of which I think we'll probably talk about over the course of the next 15 or 20 minutes or so. And the transformation it's in flight, it's happening. So look, my role looking after the ISV ecosystem and the marketplace business is really to make sure that our customers have the best choice of solutions as they start to move to the cloud. Google Cloud, we provide a lot of amazing technology from compute, network, infrastructure, storage, and now AI, which I think we'll talk about also. But we're never going to be able to satisfy every single one of our customer needs. So we build a robust ISV ecosystem of the software companies who are building the components or the parts that our customers need to use. Now, if you look in retail as a perfect example, it's a segment that Google Cloud has done really well in. Retailers tend to trust Google Cloud above some of the other cloud providers out there, largely because we're completely complementary as opposed to competitive like some of the other cloud providers. And look,
like AWS, Amazon?
Sure. And if you, I think you talked to Zebra Technologies as an example of one of the software companies that we're working with. I'll go through a list of a few: Commerce Tools, Shopify, Zebra, Manhattan Associates, Zeotap, Quantum Metric. But if you look at just some of the innovation that somebody like a Zebra is doing, and I think you had a chance to talk to Tom yesterday, if that's right.
No, he came on today, Tom, the CTO.
Today,
Zebra,
Tom,
amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
So they have some tech on their floor, and they're partnered with us, as well as Target as the customer. And they had a Target rep who was there demonstrating it. They basically have a device that has, it's a handheld device with a computer on it, of course, and a camera. And the Target rep, they could be 1-2 days in the job. They can take this device and scan a shelf that's sitting in a Target store, and that the computer vision that's running on the device, again in partnership with Google, will tell that rep, that associate in the Target store, what is misplaced, what is missing from the shelves, what they need to sort of rearrange in order to make sure that the storefront is looking as it should. And if there are things that are low in stock, it gives the associate an opportunity to order a backup, and then all of that can kind of be fulfilled on the device. And if a customer came over and said they wanted to know where something was or what the price of something is because it's missing, they can do that all on the device. And they're partnering with us to power all of that computer vision and the generative AI behind the scenes. It's amazing, and that's just one of many other innovations that I'm sure we'll get into.
We had Commerce Tools on, so that was a great get as well for us to get that content. Again, you mentioned those three all came on. The thing that gets me, and I want to get your thoughts on this, because what I love about Zebra's CTO, Tom, came on. I asked him about Google Cloud, and he said the business transformation is so important for their business because their pre-existing position in the market is they have that edge device. They do have scanning technologies. They're in almost every industry you can imagine. I think they're in all the industries. I mean, they do a lot of analyzing, monitoring, and accelerating of value for what's on the digital side. So Google brought to the table a major piece of the puzzle, because now they've focused all their developer efforts on what they do. Right. And now, again, this comes back down to something that we've been saying on theCUBE, and I want to get your thoughts on this, because I think this is now a new thing that's not yet been taught in business schools, which is we're at a first time ever cloud impact economies and businesses. So the value chain, remember the old days, don't outsource your core competency. Well, that kind of depends now, because when you're at scale, you can do things at scale that some people can't. So you guys operate at scale. They're at scale from a deployment standpoint. So they bring you guys in to run a lot of the heavy lifting, AI, back-end, scale, to power their scale.
That's
so
right.
They shift all their resources to their competency.
That's right.
But there's still core competency of scale that they're working with you on. So it's not not outsourcing to Google. They're integrating.
No, it's
integrating in. This is a historic moment, because now you're going to see managed services that are operating at scale. Again, this is something that's going to be new. What's your thoughts on this? I'm trying to piece this together.
Yeah, so it's really a true partnership. It's not really that they're outsourcing a core competency to us. It's really something we're working on partnership together. And if you just take AI as an example, I think the cloud is becoming much more well understood than it was 10 years ago, and customers largely recognize that a move to a cloud is inevitable. They're going to have to do it in order to stay competitive, because everybody in the industry is just gaining from the economies of scale that they get from moving, and the lower total cost of ownership. You're able to move much faster, et cetera. But in artificial intelligence, the way we at Google sort of think about the stack, it's a multi-layer cake. At the lowest level, we have the chips. So we have our own chips. We partner with NVIDIA and Intel to offer GPUs and compute to customers. And then, of course, we have our own TPUs, the tensor processing units that our customers can make use of. But not every customer is going to make use of just chips to create their artificial intelligence. So we have a capability we call Vertex, our Vertex platform, which basically gives a customer all the tools that they need to start to develop and adapt models and LLMs that either we're providing or that they can get from our customers, that they can get from our partners. And we've got more than 130 models that are available in our model garden. So customers can choose from Gemini, some of our world-class models, or from our partners like Anthropic, Mistral, Cohere. We have a partnership with Hugging Face. So their models are pick and choose. We're just supplying choice to the customer. And then we have a number of higher level AI-powered capabilities. Let's just take our contact center AI or CCAI, where we offer contact center APIs for whether it be retailers or other customers who want to modernize their contact center and have AI capabilities so that they can get a single view of their customer and maybe have the contact center reps be told what the next best thing maybe to show their customer. So look, when we think about these partnerships with like a Zebra or a Commerce Tools, who you also spoke to, it's really about helping them navigate that different layer cake and seeing what it is that the value add that they're bringing to their industry. We're never going to be experts in the retail industry, understanding how to optimize supply chain and omni-channel experiences and building e-commerce websites. So we have partners like Shopify, who you could also see at NRF on the floor. And Shopify is built on Google Cloud. They power, I forget the number, but it's billions and billions of transactions every day and month on their platform. And they are starting to take advantage now of our generative AI capabilities to help business owners who are creating storefronts to basically just give commands. I want to give a 10% discount on this particular SKU in this particular region. And the Shopify tool will show that customer, that small business or that medium-sized business, where they need to make the changes in the Shopify portal to actually push that out to their customers. So I don't view it as outsourcing. I view it more as kind of a partnership.
And again, the Marvel series we do on theCUBE, check out on SiliconANGLE, of course, the YouTube channel. You point this out, and I want to get into this because I think, like I said, the personal computer revolution, networking, the decade after, things are happening so fast now. We are living in a supercomputing democratization era. You guys basically are, now I'm oversimplifying, but Google is a supercomputer. I mean, the scale of Google, and everyone knows not everyone can be Google, so you can bring that now to them. They have the ability to actually run their business. So the business transformation is the key message, because think about what it would take to offer a discount in a region. Say it's snowing in Chicago, and I want to give a discount. I sell very seasonal weather that when it's snowing, sales go up, or maybe I charge more. This ability to be that agile on the business front would have taken, okay, send a ticket in, update the SKUs, go in and apply some policy to a database. Now we're talking about just voice activated, instantly happening. So the operational efficiencies, not just at scale operations, business logic. This is where the holy grail is.
That's right. So actually, if you think about that layer cake I just outlined before, I almost look at Marketplace as the top of that pyramid. That's the distribution channel. So we have all of these wonderful cloud and AI capabilities that our ISV partners, some of whom we just discussed, can take advantage of it. And then when they want to actually sell it to our customers, they can list it on our marketplace. And look, as our last publicly quarterly earnings, we sort of disclosed we have more than $85 billion of commitment from our collective customer base to spend on GCP. Google Cloud.
Marketplace?
So it's in total to spend with Google Cloud. And they have two ways to retire that commitment. They can, of course, consume Google Cloud services, or they can buy from ISVs that are listed on our marketplace. So our ISV partners, like let's say a Quantum Metric or a ZeoTap or a Zebra, can take advantage of that tailwind by making their solutions available on our marketplace. And then our sales team, who's out talking to customers and asking them, what's your next problem, what else can we help you with, have not just the inventory of hundreds of Google Cloud services, but they now have thousands of solutions available in our marketplace from all of these partners, so we can bring in the right solution at the right time.
It's funny, I'm smiling because you mentioned Quantum Metrics. I interviewed them yesterday. Talking to the founder there.
Mario, right?
Mario. Yeah, I felt like I was at a cloud show. We were talking cloud native. He's technical, but you're starting to see the DNA of the successful leaders in these verticals. And I want to ask you, in the ISV landscape in Marketplace, are you seeing that similar pattern? And first of all, he's technical. He's done multiple startups before. Again, very impressive. But he asked the why question: why customers are doing things, his intent. So again, the technical lens that he's bringing to the table. is significant to impact brick and mortar and digital, make that first party connection. What other ISVs, what other areas in retail and other verticals, is this a similar pattern? What's going on in the marketplace with the ISVs? Are they leaning more towards the quantum metrics of the world? Are you seeing more neophytes coming in?
It's a good mix, I would say. I'd say that the common thread, if I had to sort of pick one across all industries and even all technology segments. So when I think about the ISV ecosystem, we have teams of people who focus on security, on data and analytics, on AI, on horizontal tools like your ERP or your finance systems, your productivity, all the different verticals, databases, observability, et cetera. And we have experts on our teams who sort of face off with the ISVs in those different segments or pillars or categories to really make sure we're working and have the category leading ISVs available in our marketplace. But there's a thread, I would say, it's kind of in three phases for the ISVs who do it really well. They co-build, they co-market, and they co-sell with us. And the co in that build, market, and sell is very intentional. It's something we do together. It's not something we're doing on behalf of them or that they're doing on behalf of us. So in the co-build, it's really about, that's the technical part. What are the amazing, unique things that we can build together that a customer couldn't find anywhere else? So the combination of Zebra's handheld devices, relationship with retail customers, in the stores, working with those retail agents, plus the technology that Google's bringing around the computer vision and the generative AI, that's a unique solution that would be very hard to replicate or get somewhere else. How do we market that together? How do we get customers like Target, who was at NRF talking about this, and shouting that from the rooftop so everybody knows that these sorts of capabilities are available? And then in the co-sell, we're really just aligning our sales teams. And every time we have a customer who's interested in what we're doing together, we get our sales teams together, we talk about that customer, what do we need to do to help them solve their problem, and really kind of do that hand in hand. And so the ISVs like a quantum metric, and Mario, who you mentioned, has been really leaning in on the marketplace and has been very successful with us over the past 18, 24 months, and in that regard are really firing on all cylinders across all three.
Yeah, I mean, I love I'm a big fan of marketplace. I think the consumption of technology, again, as this becomes technology, digital first party citizen, the business transformation is going to render itself so that the brick and mortars and digital now become one. When you had the pandemic, you had that kind of separation to e-commerce. Now we're back into real life. You're seeing that bridge together. So given what's going on in retail, obviously IoT is huge, devices, you've got healthcare. What is going on in the marketplace relative to some of the revenue targets, the success on your business that you're running? Is it the classic tech vertical? So Palo Alto Networks, by the way, is still here. He's at the show too. Again, another successful marketplace player, been on the Marvel series with us. What verticals, what's the performance look like in the marketplace? Give an overview of how well you're doing. Is it growing? What verticals are growing? Which ones you hope for coming up from the rear?
I feel very, very fortunate to be in the position that I'm in because we're up and to the right in pretty much any segment that you could imagine with the marketplace. We just have a very fortunate position where a lot of customers are trusting us with large amounts of their budgets to do what they will normally refer to as a digital transformation. And as I mentioned before, it's very difficult, it's impossible for us to fulfill all of their needs and all of their technology challenges with just our own first-party capabilities. So we build this ecosystem of ISVs and make them available in the marketplace. And whether you look at retail or healthcare and life sciences or financial services or tech itself, we actually have a lot of ISVs that I work with as a partner who also use other ISVs to build their business, of course. I mean, Commerce Tools is a perfect example. They are a big MongoDB customer. And so we work with MongoDB as a database ISV that we work very closely with, and Commerce Tools builds a lot of their solution on MongoDB. So, we kind of have a nice kind of three-way relationship going on there. So I would say just across kind of every segment.
So ecosystem's huge for you then. Ecosystem, cohesiveness, synergies, big part of what you do. Besides fulfillment, you got the co-marketing, co-building.
Oh yeah,
but I mean,
the fulfillment it's an important part, and customers appreciate the fact that they can consolidate invoices and that, instead of 50 bills, if they've taken 50 offers from Marketplace, it's kind of consolidated on one. It's simpler. They have all of their contracts that are in one system. I don't know, you've been in the game a long time. You've probably worked at companies where, where's the contract for this deal we did 5 years ago?
The reporting's so
it's in
crazy,
somebody's filing cabinet somewhere else. So like, there's a lot of simplification around that, but fulfillment is really a small part
I'm sure you guys
of it.
got some good AI for that.
Yeah, we do. And look, when we're working with a customer and when they have an agreement coming up with us, we'll start to look at over the course of the next 1, 2, 3 years as we project out what their Google Cloud spend is going to look like. We're also encouraging them to look at what does their vendor population look like, how is that going to change, how do they want to maybe modernize some of those vendors who haven't yet made the leap to the cloud. Here's some of the vendors that we have on the marketplace that are going to help you get to the cloud faster, help you achieve your AI transformation faster, and we'll really start to contemplate that much more ahead of time. And of course, customers really appreciate that because they're able to then lean in and get to the cloud faster.
I want to first of all, thank you for coming in to the studio here, busy schedule that you have. I want to really bring up this intentional integration. You mentioned it earlier, because I think this is something that we're seeing here at NRF, as in every other vertical, where the ecosystems used to be APIs. Hey, we're connected to an API. The intention around integration has been a big part of your focus at Google Cloud. It's been one of the successful pieces of how you guys have been working. Talk about the importance as people have these connected ecosystem partners. You mentioned Mongo. Yeah, you have to let the best solutions evolve. People are building stuff with you.
Yes.
Talk about this integration layer, why it's so important, because now it's not just from a security standpoint, data is important too. No one wants a black box.
Yes.
So intentionally integrating,
Yeah.
making that a piece of the fabric.
Yeah. So look, APIs is still a big part of how we do that. A lot of our ISV partners will use our APIs either to use our GCP, Google Cloud services, or to integrate with the marketplace. That's all sort of API driven, but that, again, that's just the beginning.
That's a connection.
If you take Palo Alto, for example, I think you talked to Manish and I, whatever it was, 2 months ago, on the Marketplace Marvel series, and they've got dozens of bespoke integrations. And so when a customer is looking for a firewall, let's say, or to do data protection with what they're doing on Google Cloud, they can either find it in the Marketplace or they can find it directly throughout their Google Cloud experience. And that is just a integrated experience where, from the customer's perspective, the user experience is as seamless as though it was a Google Cloud service. And we're looking at doing more and more of those integrations and finding that what is really going to be unique. It's very simple to just say we're going to have the same capability that you could get on any cloud, and that's fine. We need to have that, but in order for us to be really, really, really successful and to do something meaningful together, it's really kind of identifying what those unique integrations are. And Zebra is an example of that.
Zebra's great, yeah.
Manhattan Associates is another, big time player in the retail industry. They do logistics, supply chain management, customer chatbots for their retail customers.
What I love about this market, Stephen, is that it's platforms connecting to platforms together. There's certainly tools out there. You got, obviously unique situations, picks and shovels for certain things, but platforms are connecting with each other. Data is a big part of it. I guess my final question for you would be, here at NRF, what has been your focus? So you had the marketplace, you got to check in with the relationships, but when you go look at the NRF, what's been your agenda, what's been your focus?
Yeah, I think for me, my intent number one was just to learn and to just see the innovation that's happening across the ecosystem and really try to create some cross-pollination around that. What can the financial services industry learn from the retail industry, for example? Retail, as an example, has a lot of customer service needs because you have customers who are calling in wondering where their items are, how come they got shipped the wrong thing, like lots of different, and
there's payments involved.
Payments, how do I change my payments, how do I change my billing
Returns.
address, et cetera. And a lot of this is now being automated by generative AI. So taking those learnings and then how do we then put that in a financial services where, like, the customer who's doing digital banking might want the same kind of experience. So for me, learning was a big part of it. And then, of course, just, understanding who the key who are the ISVs that are really leaning in and moving the needle, and who is going to be the next big winners for our retail customers, so that we can make sure that we're highlighting the right solution from the right software vendor to the right customer at the right time.
And there's breakout moments coming because, as we talked about Zebra Technologies, the people that are in market with stuff. It's not like, hey, retail, let's go apply Gen AI. They're already incumbents with technology that the AI forcing function that's here, just like the pandemic changed retail and every other industry. That was a forcing function. Behavior had to be changed. Now that was a black swan event. But now we have Gen AI. I won't say it's a black swan. It's just it's an inflection point. It's a generational shift. Trillions of dollars of shift to edge, data center, cloud, connected ecosystems.
Yeah.
It's here, so the money's got to come from somewhere. So there'll be winners and losers.
It's here, the inflection point is here, and I will tell you, having walked the NRF floor yesterday and seen the dozens of companies who are using it in real ways to transform the customer experience for retailers, if you are in retail or any other industry for that matter, and you're not taking advantage of it, I'd be careful.
All right, final point, just give a quick plug in for some of the things you're working on. Stats, can you share any metrics, revenue, number of customers? Smile. No revenue, okay.
Not going to share revenue, but I will say we're
give us a taste of the because I've heard things like you guys are one of the fastest growing areas on revenue in Google Cloud. I mean, you don't have to deny or admit that, but just give us a taste or scope of kind of the magnitude of the growth you're going through within your group.
Yeah, I will say the growth is so fast it's hard to keep up with, and we have many customers who are interested in using the marketplace, both to consolidate their spending procurement, but also because they want Google's take on the solutions that they should be using. They want help getting to the cloud faster, and frankly, more ISVs who want to get into the marketplace and get going and want our expertise. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to come here and kind of talk about it, because it helps maybe show some of the things that our partners do.
Well,
Gen
Pro's got some great reviews. You got Vertex you mentioned. Also got BigQuery, all the I call big iron stuff in the cloud. Again, it's a great resource.
Yeah.
And again, it's an economic engine we're seeing as a historic point in the computer industry. I mean, I call it Gen 2 cloud. That's my words. People would debate that, but you're starting to see scale. The benefits of scale really impact, and then the ecosystem lifts with it. So it's not about competing with the ecosystem. I think that question's gone. I think that got vaporized as an objection maybe a couple of years ago. But certainly there is no competition. It's a great opportunity. Everyone can transform their business and move fast.
All boats lift with the rising tide.
Great to have you on, Stephen.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Stephen Orban, who runs the marketplace at Google Cloud, Vice President of Migrations, ISVs, but really is the front end of how people consuming technology, buying it, integrating it, but also the connected ecosystem. A really important part of this next wave of AI is how do you leverage large scale, connect with the best partners to build the best solutions. Again, business transformation is the theme here at Retail Week. I'm John Furrier, Dave Vellante here as your CUBE hosts. Thanks for watching.